You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging out with you guys. And actually, we've got some super timely updates and some really exciting news that we're going to be delivering to you guys from the Exmark camp, which is super exciting. A lot of you guys know that I bleed red through and through, and we do a lot with Exmark on the YouTube channel and the podcast. So we super appreciate their partnership and their sponsorship with a lot of the content that we put out to you guys through YouTube, Instagram, and through the podcast. So we actually are joined live. We've got two great guests. We have none other than Lenny Magnall, who is one of the product managers for Exmark, and then Jonathan Guarneri here, who is also a product manager. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show. How are you guys doing?
Great. Thanks for having us, Brian. It's a joy to be here with you, brother.
Absolutely. Jonathan, how you doing, brother?
Doing well. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. Well, guys, you guys know that there's been a little change of events here in 2020. It's called the COVID situation and the pandemic. So we are all kind of being flexible and adapting and trying some different things. And so what Exmark wanted to do with us and with you guys is give you guys some exclusive information, some exclusive access to content that we are able to share with you guys in a super timely fashion. So you guys are hearing it here first. And so what we're going to do, it's going to be just a quick, fun podcast. We're just going to give you guys some up-to-date info with the latest and greatest with Exmark, new products, company changes internally and also externally with different brands and how things are consolidating and things are changing it up. And so just so you guys have the lay of the land as you guys are looking to make purchases or investments into new units or new product into 2021. So let's do this really quick. Before we go down the rabbit hole, and as all my viewers know, I always like to take a sip of water. But what we're going to do is I'm going to take a sip of water, but I'm going to turn it over to Lenny here, just so Lenny can give maybe about a minute stats and update about who he is, his background. We actually had Lenny on the show about midsummer time talking about the Tractus and a couple other different products. So if you guys remember this familiar voice, it's because Lenny's joined us on the show before. But Lenny, can you take a quick minute, get these guys up to speed about what you do there over at Exmark?
You bet. Thanks, Brian. So, product manager here at Exmark. So what I do is we look and we go out to the field, talk to customers, talk to our channel about what tools are missing and what features are missing. We try to help solve problems, if you will. So we grab that feedback, we bring it back, we kind of plug it into the engineer's brains, and then they design a solution for that opportunity that we found in the field. And then we kind of massage that product as it goes through its life cycle from infancy, all the way to as we close a product out, if you will, and try to keep that train running.
I love it, brother. And what product lines are you responsible for again? Just so you guys, so we can get these guys up to speed.
You bet. So I've kind of got the big and the small. So I've got the walk powers. I got the 21 and 30 inch machines. And then I've got all of the Laser Zs and then our diesel lineup.
All right. Cool deal. Well, those are products that we're very familiar with. A lot of my listeners and fans and everybody that we talk to, those are two really stout product lines, which is really exciting. So great job there. They're seem like they're in good hands with Lenny, right? So all right. Well, let's tee it over to Jonathan. And by the way, guys, we don't have a script as we're doing this. We're just shotgunning back and forth. I said we're keeping it unfiltered, which is code for unscripted. I hate scripted content. So Jonathan, what's up with you, brother? What's your background and what do you guys do with Exmark?
Yeah, so like Lenny, I'm a product manager. My background differs a little bit from Lenny in the sense that I grew up on the East Coast, and out there my uncle has a landscaping company. Worked for him for about 8.5 years, and when I graduated college, decided I wanted to do something a little bit different, but still kind of be in the industry. And my uncle used nothing but Exmark mowers, so while I worked for him, I really developed a love and passion for not only mowing lawns, but also the Exmark brand. So I applied for a job out in Beatrice, Nebraska. a little over 6 years ago, and the rest is kind of history once I got hired on.
I love it. Well, good deal. Well, I've actually had a lot of conversations with Jonathan over the last 12, 18 months. He's got a background in sales and like customer service, but more so talking to contractors and making sure that you guys are satisfied with your purchases and things are running correctly in the right way. And actually, Jonathan was one of my go-to contacts to make sure that all the equipment we were working with was up to snuff as we were kind of partnered up with Exmark the last 18 months. So super appreciate the partnership with both of you guys. So thanks so much for joining us on the show. Well, let's do this. Let's just get into the meat of it. There's 2020, again, the COVID, worldwide pandemic, a lot of different things. GIU was postponed, but there's news. There's great stuff coming down the pipe with Exmark. So who wants to take it away first? Lenny, do you want to go first, or Jonathan? Do you guys want to go first?
Yeah. Hey, I'll kind of preface a lot of this here a little bit, and then I'll have Jonathan go, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If you look back, like the last 4 years, you mentioned COVID, and obviously that has created some opportunities for us. Moving into model year 21. But if you also, on top of that, you go back, in 2017, we launched a whole new product line in the Radius. In 2018, we launched a whole new product line with a diesel, including the 96 inch, In 19, it was the Staris. And then last year we had the gas 96, as well as some other updates. And then, something that that I'll turn over to Jonathan here in just a second about that we're doing. So it's been a busy boom, boom, boom 4 years. Mm-hmm. So while we've got a lot of great stuff coming out, it almost feels a little bit like a pullback year. Hey, look, we're going to use COVID to get everything together and get ourselves aligned where we need to be, and then punch forward. And without trying to ruin model year 21. And I know Jonathan will agree. And as a matter of fact, I've got a huge smile on my face and a little bit of chills. 22 and 23 are just they are going to blow people's socks off with what we've got coming down the pipe. Okay. So I'll throw that little lure out there for everybody. But with that, hey Joe, Nate, you want to go ahead and take over and talk about what we got coming up for 21?
Yeah, most definitely. So, like I said, Jonathan Guarneri, product manager for Exmark. The products that I cover are wide area walk behind mowers on the Exmark side, and then all of our turf management equipment. So that all that turf management equipment falls under the brand Z Turf Equipment. So we refer to it as the ZTE brand. And some changes that we have come in there is the Exmark branded turf management equipment is going to transition from being Exmark to Z Turf Equipment. So cosmetic changes, branding changes, so that all of our turf management equipment is under one umbrella, and that umbrella is the Z Turf Equipment line. And what really brought that on was back in 2018, we acquired the Z Spray brand and the Z Plug brand, and we're just trying to integrate that. And what we've chosen to do is put all of our turf management equipment under this brand of Z Turf Equipment. So the new Z Turf Equipment that you'll see this year is our rebranded 30-inch aerator, our rebranded 24-inch aerator, our rebranded slicer seeder, as well as all of the products that we came out with in 2020, which is all those sprayers.
Okay, gotcha. Very cool. Let me ask you this, Jonathan. With regards to the ZTE, so the ZTE is the Z Turf Equipment. So that's going to be its own line. Is that still going to be under the Exmark umbrella, or is that another company, or how does that work?
Nope, it is one of the Exmark family of brands. So
okay,
it is under the umbrella of Exmark.
Okay, cool deal. So still get the same quality, the same engineering, the same red paint, right? All the basics.
Yep. Well, some of that you'll see some different colors on the paint. It'll be red and black, but it's just a different mixture. And really, what we want to leverage, what we feel we have going for us is our customer service group. When you call in, they'll be able to support whether it's Exmark or Z Turf Equipment.
Oh, cool. Okay, very cool. No kid. Well, let me ask you this: what about the spreader sprayers? The stand-on, fertilizer spreaders. Is that also going to be under the ZTE line, or is that?
That is correct. So they'll all be Z sprays. So right now we have 5 spreader sprayers. So we have the Max, the Mid, the Junior 36, and the Lean to Steer, and the Z Max XL.
Okay. Gotcha. And then let me ask you about this. I hopefully I'm able to talk about it, but the larger plug aerator, not the 36, but the one that was acquired probably through LT, is that going to be branded under the Exmark ZTE line as well, or?
That will be a ZTE. So we're switching from Z plug to Z aerate, and you know how long they are, because it's a Z aerate 40, a Z aerate 30, and then a Z aerate 24.
All right. So 40-inch aerator, huh? That thing's a beast. I've seen a couple of those around town where we live, and you got some larger HOAs, commercial, properties for sure, condo complexes and whatnot. Man, that thing can make short work out of the larger sites. I have the 30-inch stand-on aerator. I love mine. That thing is a cash cow. And we actually just got done talking a lot about aerations and overseeding on the podcast here over the last 2 weeks, as 'tis the season here, September, October, right? So super, super cool, super exciting time. So if anybody's looking to grow their turf management division, whether you're a owner operator or you got a $1 or $2 million company, a lot of the ZTE line, super profitable side of the industry and the business with aerations, overseeding, fertilizer. So the ZTE line, that's going to be all rebranded for 2021. Is that what you're saying, Jonathan?
That is correct. And if I can just kind of put a plug in there for the unintended here, right? The aerate 40-inch is that it's a little bit more versatile than our 24 and our 30, because there's several different attachments you can put on it. There's the slicer seeder attachment. There's the spike style aeration head, and then there's also a spray system.
Okay.
So it makes that machine a lot more versatile. And it's funny, I was talking to a contractor the other day about the split seeder, and he goes, "Man, that thing just prints money for me." Just absolutely prints money. So love hearing that feedback, and want to continue making products. So we continue to get that feedback.
Amen. I love it, brother. Well, I had a call just the other day, 2 calls that came in, like last minute aeration and overseeding. And they said, "Hey, is there still time?" Well, we got a little uptick in the weather here. It's been 70s for a couple of days, last 2 weeks. And I said, heck yeah, I'm going to go do 2 aerations and 2 overseedings. I think it was about $600, and we had about 150 between the seed and maybe some time into it. And that's called making $450 in about an hour and a half. So we'll take that all day. Okay, well, cool deal. Well, Lenny, let's volley back to you. You got some great stuff going on as well. Some updates with the different product lines you manage. So why don't you take it away? Tell us what's new with all the stuff that you get to manage.
You bet. So I'll kind of start at my smaller stuff and work on up. So with our commercial 30-inch. We've got kind of exciting with last year we came out with the X series with that Kohler 200cc powered machine. Now this year we're going to go ahead and move the FJ180 up into the X series as well. So it'll have that new super beefy transmission up in the X series powered with the Kawasaki FJ180. So
okay.
Excited about that. That really gives guys options. Depending on, their engine preferences or whatever. One of the things we hear a little bit about with the 30 is you get some guys, hey, this thing is underpowered or something like that. I don't know if we talked about this the last time we got together, Brian, but this spring I was mowing my backyard with a 30-inch FJ180, and it was, it had to be 8 inches tall, at least 6. And I was mulching with that 30-inch. And at first I was sitting there going through, and I could mow about 3 feet and it would just fall all over itself. And one of our service guys, Fred Fugit, the quality of cut guy, that in the industry, I'd put him up against anybody. And he goes, "Hey, add some rake to it." So I was actually at 3 inches on my front height adjuster. I was at 4.5 inches on the back. And I went from barely able to move that I just, as fast as I could walk up and down the lines. And it just cut through it. So,
yeah.
When guys, that's a big thing when guys are out there. If something's not working, Joe Nate mentioned it. And Joe Nate, I hope you don't mind I'm calling you that. That's what we call this, brother. So
there you go.
But,
man, you're good.
So, Joe Nate mentioned them earlier, our customer service group. Give them guys a call, give your dealer a call. They can give them a call, or our numbers on every book out there. They can help you, and they can help you make the machine work the way you want to work. So that was, we always want to plug those guys because they are the hardest working group in our company, and they just do amazing things for us. So,
yeah. I love it. So what else? So new transmission is that what you were saying? So new transmission for the 30 with the Cowie, or
with the Cowie, right?
Okay,
right,
cool. And then any other refreshes? Yeah, I know. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. We're waiting for a new updated Z, man. Are we getting it this year? Is it going to be maybe around the corner? People are chomping at the bit.
So it is. It's around the corner. That's something where this doggone COVID bit us a little bit. One of the things that, especially laser is just too precious for us to rush anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so important for us to be out there and be in front of people and really get their full feeling and feedback when we're making changes to a machine.
Mm-hmm.
So we're throwing the clutch in just a little bit on that. And, but it's coming, and that's, I alluded to it earlier. There's just some really exciting stuff. Like I said, huge smile and a little bit of chills just thinking about it. But,
all right.
One of the things we do have on the laser that we're offering this year is, you mentioned it earlier, Tractus. We're going to put Tractus standard on 2 models in the X series. So on that 921 Cowie powered laser X series 60 and 72, we're going to offer those standard with Tractus. And man, the feedback that we've been getting from Tractus has been absolutely phenomenal.
Good.
The guys, I fully understand. Believe me, money's precious to me. That upfront payment, is can be a hard pill to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, each and every person that I've talked to or even heard about, they said, why did I wait this long? It's not even just the no flats. It's the ride. It's the traction. It's, not having to check air pressure, all of those things we talked about in our last podcast that just have guys super excited.
That's really, really cool. So that's going to be available on the X series for, so the Laser Z X series or the Laser Z X and S, or which 2 units again?
So just 2 models in the Laser Z X series. So it'll be a 921 Cowie 60 and a 921 Cowie 72 that we'll offer it standard on. Okay.
Very, very good. But you can always add them if you get the Kohler EFI option, right?
Yeah, you can add them to any 60 or 72 inch machine. And we're hoping, if I can just give the engineers a little bit of nudge, we're hoping that we'll have it available for 52 inch models at some point in model year 21 as well.
There you go. Well, we really appreciate that. I had a little incident with my Tractus tires. I think, Lenny, you know where I'm going on this one. It broke my heart so much. People listening to the show, if you guys don't follow us on YouTube religiously, I took my tires off in the spring when the Exmark did provide us a set of Tractus to demo and test out, and they were all like kind of mucked up from GIE on the showroom floor, which I was like, yeah, I'll still take them, man. They're clean to me, just like you guys would too, right? And so it was funny. We were shut down because of COVID and we couldn't do anything. So I said, well, I'm not like the most mechanically inclined, but I'll take a stab at changing some tires out because I didn't want to bother Weingarts. They were forced shut down too for a hot minute. So anyway, long story short, I swap out my pneumatic tires for the Tractus, and I did not know that you're supposed to put the tapered side in, the acorn side in, for a lug nut. And unfortunately, so they weren't completely taut or locked down, which was funny because we ran them for 6 weeks, and so and then any which way, I realized that the lug nuts were loose, and we sheared off 2 bolts, and I ruined one of the rims, which was so heartbreaking because I was talking to the guys up at Weingarts. I'm like, can't we salvage the tread, salvage the outer rim? And they go, They go, no, man, it's like a race car wheel. It's one piece, you know? And I was like, oh, no. And then, so it was funny because you had texted me. You're like, hey, dude, Exmark's got your back. Anything we can do for you? And which was also code for, hey, we're not sending you another rim. So which you guys probably would have, but I was like, no, that was my fault, man. I still buy my own stuff, a lot of my own stuff. And so anyway, it was like an $800 hit. But, you know, it was actually interesting how many people had done the same thing on a tire and a rim on their car, their trailer, or their lawnmower. And I was surprised to hear that. And I had like 100 comments on that video saying, I didn't know that acorn sides go in, you know, on the lug nut. So anyway, it was, you know, an $850 PSA that, you know, that's how we give back to the community, right, Lenny? So, so we bought another rim, and here's the deal. People are like, well, why don't you throw the air tires back on? I'm like, heck no, dude. I was already drinking the Kool-Aid that those Tractus are incredible because they were like, you know, if you guys listen to Lenny and I talk about it on an episode we did maybe about 3 months ago, I'm not going to revisit that right now, but to me, they're an investment, but that's what they are. They're an investment to not have downtime, not get a nail stuck in your tire, not lose 3 hours going to this, you know, stinking tire shop. You know, and that's if you only have you and a guy. I mean, imagine if you got a 4-man team and you got to take the whole truck and rig to, you know, half hour down to the tire shop. That's a big pain in the butt. Lenny, can I ask? You can either confirm or deny, but do we have anything coming out for the standard units yet, or can we see that maybe the next 12, 18 months, or where are you guys at on that?
Hey, I'll be completely upfront. That's something that we're working on. Timing yet to know yet at this point, but
sure.
that is our next target for the Tractus tire, and we're excited to go down that road because there's you know, even with the standard market, just the advantages outside of the flat tires, you know, with traction and side hill and everything, just fits with the standard market so well.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny. I thought I loved the Tractus when I was using them, right? Because they were cool, they were fun, and you know, actually, like the next day I put them on. I'm not making this up. I had a you know, the little utility flag. It goes right through the tire and pokes in there, and I'm like, man, if that was a pneumatic tire, flat tire for sure. But the interesting thing is I switched out from the Z to the Staris maybe around like the first part of June, just for the weekly growth. It's you know, it's able to, you know, mow down any of the properties we're taking care of. I thought I liked the Tractus before. I didn't realize how much I missed them until I went back on the stand-on, because I was, you know, having to, you know, just inflate the tires once a week just to keep them level, and I'm always checking my quality of cut. I'm pretty, you know, crazy like that. And then, you know, making sure there was no utility flags or, you know, things that were going over. And if I had to track this, but you know, it's a tank, we just roll over it, you know? So I know I appreciated it on the Z, but I really came to appreciate it when I went back on the Star S, because I was like, man, if I had the Tractus on the Star S, that would be invincible. I mean, honestly. So when that comes down the pike, I'll be the first to invest in a pair and upgrade, and we'll definitely put those through the ringer for the team and for you guys. So, well, this is good. Well, that's the kind of the only two or three things I think we wanted to talk about. We didn't have a huge agenda here. We like to keep it just transparent and keep it real. Any other things that folks can look forward to as they go into the 2020-2021 season? Maybe they're listening to this over winter and they want to make some shopping decisions or buying decisions for, you know, spring 21. Lenny, I'll pass it back to you, and then after that, maybe we'll give it back to Jonathan, and anything you guys want to fill in the cracks.
Sure. There's a lot of updates, like with the diesel, for example. You get to our guys down in the South, they get into the latter part of the year and that Bermuda dries out. It gets really furry and dry. And we've had some issues with guys down there actually completely plugging the screen and sending the diesel into a temp alert. So we've got this new, we lovingly at the factory refer to it as the super scoop. But it eliminates that worry down there in the South, or even up north if you're in, you know, maybe a bunch of foxtail or something like that, cottonwood seeds and things of that nature that can get sucked in there. So, we're excited about that. Really help take that product over the top. And then just all the way through our sit down and even stand on ZTR market. We've got some really cool price points. If you listen to, our show yesterday, kind of our unveiling yesterday, we went through some of that. I'll let the dealer be the one to deliver the good news on some of that pricing. But, Brian, I'm sure you've got some homeowners that listen to your show as well. And we've got Mike Mayfield, one of the other product managers, some exciting new stuff coming out in our little Quest, our homeowner Quest mower. And then even in the Radius, we've got something coming out. It'll be later in the year. For those guys that do a lot of small residential, so some of the smaller deck applications, we've got a change going on in the Radius down in that area. That's man, it's super cool, and it'll be a nice predecessor to some of the stuff that we've got coming up in following years. But it's really cool. Joe, Nate, what have I missed, brother?
Lenny, I think you just about covered all of it. The only thing that I'll echo what Lenny said is, Brian, we got some really cool stuff coming in the pipeline, stuff that I could go on for hours talking about. That is really cool stuff. So, like Lenny, I get chills just talking about it, and just can't wait to get back out there when things are a little bit more normal, start having more conversations with customers face-to-face, individuals like yourself, get back at it.
I love it. All right. Well, cool deal. Well, I know that the stuff that you guys are excited about, that's probably throwing chills down your spine, is going to blow away the competition, and it'll blow away all of our expectations. So hopefully whatever decides to blow us away decides to come out in 21 and hopefully we don't get in trouble and all the brass blows us away and we're in trouble. Amen. So, but anyway, so, well, cool deal. Well, I super appreciate your guys' time. You guys can tell that we all talk outside of just doing the podcast. Exmark's a great brand and a great company. Not because they give us free mowers or anything like that, guys. I've used Exmark for the better part of 13 years before we had any kind of partnership with these guys. And I'll tell you what, I was a partner with Exmark before they partnered with me, if that makes sense. And I thoroughly enjoy their product. We've done probably more than $1 million in sales running Exmarks cutting grass, and that's pretty impressive for me. That's a pretty good testament to my loyalty and appreciation for the brand and the product that they put out. And you know what? I'm just excited. I'm excited about seeing what they come out through not only 2020, 2021, and then also going into the future. So any last nuggets of encouragement or wisdom or anything you guys want to leave these guys in the audience while we got you? But if not, we'll button this up. Lenny, you take it away, brother.
Hey, the big thing is, really appreciate everybody out there. I hate it that we have to say thank you, through podcast and Teams meetings and things like that. As Joe Nate said, cannot wait to get out there, get in front and talk to you guys face to face out in your properties and find out what we can do for you guys. And we'll really focus in and try to help you guys solve those opportunities. The other thing that you're going to hear us talking about a lot this year, last year was the 25th year, or this year, was the 25th anniversary of the Exmark Laser Z. And so, we're just going to really talk about a lot of stuff that people forget why the Laser Z is what it is. And go back to basics. And, we talk about quality of cut, and so much of quality of cut comes down to, belt tension and some of the unique things that we do to make sure that we always have good, consistent belt tension, and just, kind of grow it from there. And just wish everybody a great fall, be safe during cleanups, be safe over the winter, and we'll see you guys out there and be ripping and roaring, ready to go this spring.
I love it. All right, good deal. Jonathan, anything else? Last famous words,
Yeah, it's been a difficult year for everybody. For those guys that are out there cutting grass, people like myself and Lenny that are used to working in an office, but have to do a lot of stuff virtually. So just grinding through 2020, looking forward to 2021. There's a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline, and really just can't wait to get back out there and be with customers again. I mean, this isn't a job for me. I get to go do something I love every day. So can't wait to get back at it. And I wish everybody a safe rest of 2020 and a great 2021.
Amen. All right, guys. Well, cool deal. Well, you heard it here first. We appreciate Exmark taking the time to jump on the podcast here and give us some exclusivity and also give us the lay of the land. That's what I do for you guys. And you know what? Because you guys are so supportive of the show, we're able to get a company like Exmark. Who would have thought, right? We got Exmark on line one, right? That's so cool. And I don't take it for granted. So thank you guys so much for partnering with us, with Brian's Law Maintenance and Fullerton Unfiltered. We truly appreciate you guys taking the time to come on the show. So, all right, guys. Well, we'll wrap it up right here. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Fullerton Unfiltered. We can't wait to catch up with you guys all on the next one.
We certainly love the guys and the entire team from Exmark. And still out on YouTube, there's a video for the Radius X series of mowers that has yours truly, Mr. Producer, doing the VO. How does that go? Equipped with meaty tires and a strong, solid frame. It actually feels like you're sitting inside of a grass-cutting machine. All right, it didn't sound quite that bad. In fact, I was sort of proud of it. Fun video that had the opportunity to work with Keith Kalfas on. It's still on his channel, I believe. Keith, of course, one of the special speakers coming up November the 7th in Novi, Michigan, the Suburban Collection Showplace. Are you ready for L'Entrepreneur Academy Live? Nick Carlson, Brittany and Caleb Allman, Corey Ballard, Jeff Joyner, Stanley Genetic, and so many others. It's going to be a great day of safety training, sales training, live panels, lots of demos as well. I don't know if there's any tickets left, to be honest with you, but it doesn't hurt to go on over to l'entrepreneuracademy.com, l'entrepreneuracademy.com, just in case Brian has opened up a couple of extra seats. Maybe you can snag one of those. It's going to be a great day. Check it out, and thanks for listening to today's podcast.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.